He's like, oh, it's no fun to grab those slippers anymore because we have to practice training with them. Is there anything that he like loves that you guys hide from him? Like sandals, socks, anything like that?
Her kitchen slippers.
Oh, perfect.
He'll like try to like steal them when she's wearing them.
Okay, so I would work like those kind of things, practice with it. So what leave it should mean is if I leave this, I get something better. So for 2 months of teaching leave it, if you tell him leave it, you should be running to the other room to get a treat. So that's how you get leave it consistently, because I find that so many people, when they're saying leave it, they're saying in a negative tone. It's like, leave it. Yeah. And so the dog thinks like, oh, I better eat this faster. So you have to kind of desensitize him of what leave it actually means. It should just mean like, oh, look over here and I get a treat. It's the only way to get a dog to leave it 100% of the time. And most people, even my clients that I tell this to, it's so hard to, not say it like that, don't have a consistent leave it for that reason, because it means something negative almost to the dog. So whenever a dog is getting into something like that, if he's pulling up things, I'll be like, leave it, and just go grab the treat bag instead of focusing on what he needs to leave, because he can sense that and he's like, oh, I gotta like guard this, I gotta get it more. So when you're practicing with 2 treats, so you can practice with objects or treats. So I'm gonna tell him, leave it. And when you guys were practicing with treats, were you letting him get this? Is that why he's so zoned in?
Yes.
Oh, hummingbird. So, okay, when you do this, if you're gonna say leave it and then like, okay, get it, that's a wait.
Oh yeah, no, I do the wait.
Okay,
yeah,
okay, good. So you haven't used wait. Yeah. Okay, because leave it, because a lot of people will tell me like if they look this up on YouTube or whatever, that's what they do. It's like leave it. Once the dog leaves it for a few seconds, it's like, okay. Yeah. But leave it is not, like if you're using leave it on your walk because you come across a dead animal, it's not wait 3 seconds, then you can go and eat it. It's like you never want to look at that thing again. So when I tell my dog leave it, she literally like is like, I can never look at that thing ever again. Like her focus is so zoned in on me. Leave it. So what you want to do during this exercise in general is speed up this time. This is a pretty long time for him to be zoning in and not looking up at me. Yeah. So think about like if he were off leash on his own in that amount of time that he's staring at that, he's not going to be listening to you at all. So with the exercise, you want to practice it and get it ingrained in him what leave it means. It means, oh, look up to me and you get something else. Leave it. Yes. And you want to try to refrain from using like his name, extra sounds to refocus him, but that's just kind of like the end goal is to, you say leave it and it's instant, he looks up at you. If you take a slipper and practice like this, leave it, yes, it becomes a lot less enticing. He's like, oh, it's no fun to grab those slippers anymore because we have to practice training with them. Oh, and I always get him to go down with the leave it just because it's the most controlled position. Leave it. And the goal is also to like end up like throwing it on the ground and no, he'll leave it. I'm keeping my hand there because if he gets it, again, he's self-rewarding himself for not listening.
Look at the camera.
He's like, get my good side. Hello? Hi, yes. Good boy. And I have a feeling in his more energetic state, he's probably even more trying to get this, right? Yeah, so this will go really far. Leave it. Yes. Good boy. Leave it. Yes. Leave it. Yes. Good boy. So you never want him to think that he's getting that treat. You know, obviously he can get it, but don't be like, okay, yes, now you can get it. Drop it is the same thing.
Okay.
People get so confused about leave it and drop it. I don't understand why, but drop it just means he has something in his mouth and you want him to drop it.
Yeah.
But if it makes more sense to just say leave it, you can tell him that too. So the point in drop it is like if he has something in his mouth, what you usually end up having to do to first teach him is say drop it, put the treat to his nose. To get the treat, he'll drop what's in his mouth. And then you work up to like drop it, show him the treat, and then he'll end up dropping it. And if you needed to put it all the way up, you could go back to that. And then it's just like drop it and it's instant. You know, so you want to work the treat further and further away. Yeah.